Abba Marcus. Stories are going around. Um, this story of this young man gives us a lot of lessons as men and women. But most njagala kwogerako eri abakyala abakuze ababeera n'abaana nga tuli n'abasajja. Many fathers out there go through a lot of hell to put your children in a life that is comfortable. They support everywhere. They take you to beautiful schools. Abba Marcus had a beautiful life when he was still here in Kampala, courtesy of the father. But how mothers turn everything around, because somebody can be a very bad husband, but still a good father. But most women or most mothers do not recognize this. Abba Marcus, when you get old and start having children and start having issues with women, you will know what your father has been going through. Right now, you are young and you have a right to your opinion, but I think you need to be cautioned. You have no right whatsoever to talk about your grandparents and how they raised your uncles and your dad, because that's a different old form altogether. Yes, your father had his personal issues, selfish, like you could say. He was drinking, he lived a life, or he's been living a life that one would say is not a good life. But also remember, there are so many reasons why people do what they're doing. The depression, the stress they undergo as people in the limelight is too much. So, young man, before you start talking about your father and your grandparents, how they badly raised their children and all that, you're not yet a father. But mothers, this is now for you. If I am a bad husband, but I am a good husband, a good father, kindly recognize that and let my children know how wonderful of a father I am. I might be a bad husband, but I am a good father. What women do when we have our disagreements and separation, they create a team for themselves. And that team is always their children. Team against the other father. Daniela, or Chameleon's wife, had her personal reasons, and people are right to separate and move on with their lives. She was tortured, she went through a lot. I've had her story, yes, but that does not do away with the fact that Jose loved and loves his children, and everything he did was for them, to give them a comfortable life, even where they are. I'm sure it's part of his efforts to be able to afford that kind of life. So while you're saying all you're saying, young man, remember, you're a man. Men go through silent battles. And those silent battles, nobody ever listens. Sometimes we go to the bottle. Sometimes you go to the club, to a life probably, thinking that will shelter or give us shelter of what we are going through. Young man, carefully tread. Your father is your father. And to all young men out there, always look for a line to be on your father's side. To be on your father's side, it's important, because right now you are a man. If you are a man, whatever your father is going through and his wife, who is your mother, you're going to go through it. Patterns follow each other. You're going to go through it. So we don't want to be here years later and you're saying, man, I think my father, whatever he went through, was right. Some of us, when we were younger, we thought our fathers were just tough people. They never talked to us. They were never there for us. But man, as you grow older, you begin to realize the importance of being a man. There are very many fathers out there, daddies, or fathers, who father people, but they're not in a space of supporting. If this guy, this man, Jose, never supported you financially, never gave you a life you're living right now, your mother wouldn't have given it to you. So respect, young man. Respect elders. It doesn't matter how. The generation we are in is basically talking about anything we want. You write your opinion, you released or revealed so many things that people don't know. But one of the most important things you have to know, your father is your father. You have no right to say what you said to the public about his behavior, about how he was raised. Big up. Women, please, watch out how you raise your children to team up against us, the men. And for the boy child out there, let this story be a lesson for you to learn something out of it. Otherwise, we are all running down that rabbit hole. As men suffer. Have a good day.